Good morning and welcome to Sunday Square Off. I'm Bram Resnick. All eyes right now on next month's special election in Arizona's 8th Congressional District. It is the latest in a string of special elections this winter and spring, viewed as a referendum on President Donald Trump. In a minute, we'll bring on the two candidates, Republican Debbie Lesko and Democrat Hyrel Tipirneni, for their first debate. But first, here's what you need to know about this election and Arizona's 8th. A sex scandal in Washington triggered a sprint to replace an 8-term congressman. Social conservative Trent Franks quit abruptly last December amid sexual harassment allegations. Following Arizona law, Governor Doug Ducey scheduled a special primary in February and a special election for April 24th. Republican Debbie Lesko and Democrat Hyrel Tipirneni will be wooing voters in a district Donald Trump won by 20 points in 2016. Former Sheriff Joe Arpaio's base was in the 8th Congressional District, one of the oldest and most Republican districts in the state. Retirement mecca Sun City is here, along with newer suburban communities on Phoenix's western outskirts. And let's welcome the Republican candidate, former state senator Debbie Lesko, and the Democratic candidate, Dr. Hyrel Tipirneni, to Sunday Square Off. Some ground rules first. The debate will be more of a conversation. I am not keeping time. My job is to make sure you each get a fair say in all the questions. And we do have a no filibuster rule on the show. It will go fast. Each candidate will have a 30-second opening statement and a 30-second closing statement. Debbie Lesko, please start us off.
Thank you so much, Bram. I'm Debbie Lesko, and I'm happily married. I have 3 children, 2 grandchildren. I have a long history, 20 years of being involved in the West Valley, and I have a strong track record of working with both Republicans and Democrats to get things done. I want to improve our education, secure the border, strengthen our military, protect Luke Air Force Base, and grow our jobs in the economy.
All right. Thank you, Senator Lesko. Hyrel Tipirneni, your turn.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Bram, for having us. And Senator Lesko, it's lovely to be here with you. I am Dr. Hyrel Tipirneni, and what we know is that D.C. is broken. There's partisan politics being played while families all across Arizona and our entire nation are struggling with real-life issues like health care affordability, economic opportunity, education, and retirement security. I'm not a career politician. I am a career problem solver. I have spent my life solving problems, healing, and serving people. I'm a proud wife, mother of 3, a 21-year resident of the West Valley, an ER doctor, and a cancer research advocate. The skills that has given me is about listening to people, following the facts, diagnosing the problem, and finding a solution. And that's what I tend to do in D.C. on behalf of the families of the West Valley. All
right, thank you both. Let's go to the news headlines of the past week, 10 days. Debbie Lesko, should President Trump fire Special Counsel Robert Mueller?
Well, no, I think we should continue the investigation, thoroughly investigate it, and get it done soon because it's been dragging on too long.
Dr. Tipirneni, would you vote to impeach the president if he fires Robert Mueller?
I would support whatever findings that come from the Mueller investigation. I think that investigation should go fully to its fruition, not be obstructed, and whatever those findings suggest, I would want to follow through. Look, nobody is above the law, including the president.
The president did win this district by 20 points, as I said a few moments ago. Senator Lesko, have you ever disagreed with any one of the president's policies or his behavior in his first year in office?
Well, I certainly don't use his form of rhetoric sometimes or other manners, but I do think he's followed through on his promises to the American people, and he's doing a good job. Our economy is doing good. Consumers are very confident. And so do I agree with everything he does? No. Will I in the future on every single thing? No, but I do agree with the majority of the things he believes in, especially securing the border and increasing the strength of our military and cutting taxes for our businesses. A lot of our businesses have given raises to their employees, and I think that's a really good thing.
Let's talk about that rhetoric and behavior for a moment. You're a domestic violence survivor. You help others. You're a social conservative. The president right now is accused of sexual misconduct by more than a dozen women. How much does that disturb you, and Could the president lead on those issues given that history?
You know, I think he needs to address them, obviously. It needs to be investigated. You're right. I am a survivor of domestic violence. I left an abusive husband 25 years ago, and I've really come a long way. I never would have dreamed in a million years that I'd be sitting here in front of you running for Congress. And so it's a good testament to other women that they can get out of an abusive relationship and do whatever their dreams bring to them.
But can the president lead on that issue? It has become a national issue. Can he lead on it?
Well, I don't know that he can lead on that issue, but he certainly needs to deal with it, and it has to be investigated. And, you know, I'm not the president, and I don't use his rhetoric, and I certainly am not going to sexually harass anyone. And so I think that's up for the public and the investigators to decide.
Dr. Tipernini, how do you win over voters in a solidly Republican red district like the 8th? President won by 20 points. This is Joe Arpaio's base. Tough country for a Democrat. How do you win it?
It's tough, but it's doable. I'm very excited about the opportunity to win over folks that have not had a voice in many years. I mean, let's be honest that Trent Franks did not have a strong Democratic opponent in multiple cycles, and we don't really know how a strong Democrat can fare. There are a lot of people who are very frustrated, feeling disaffected, struggling with issues that are not being addressed right now by the current administration or the current Congress, and they're looking for a voice to represent them on these critical issues of, you know, retirement security, protecting their Medicare and their Social Security, their children's public education and economic opportunities, their health care. We know all of these things are critical issues, and let's be honest, that's what the election is about. It's about the issues. It's not about the D or the R. So
you're a first-time candidate. Give us a better idea of where you fit in a Democratic spectrum. Are you a progressive? Would you call yourself a progressive Democrat?
I would say I'm a moderate. I know my district, and I know my core values, and I know the issues. And where I stand is where the folks in West Valley need me to stand to help be a fighter for them. And it's not a, you know, there's a spectrum, and what I have found is when I'm going to door and talking to people on the phone, most people sit in that middle ground. And we have a lot of common ground, whether you're a D or an R or a Libertarian or Green Party. People want the same things for their families. They want their children to get a strong education. They want to know that they can get the jobs that, you know, once they get out of school. They want to know that they can retire with dignity. These are common values.
So give us an example of a moderate policy you'd advocate for.
Well, I think my policy on immigration is moderate. Look, I want secure borders. There's no question. We all want that. And what I can say is, you know, the wall, although the idea makes us feel safe, we know that it's not legitimately going to make us any safer. I mean, I agree with Senator McCain, who is certainly not a Democrat. And he says that, you know, he doesn't think the wall will make us any safer. We know clearly that one of the largest growing populations of folks that are undocumented are the people who come in with a visa and then ultimately overstay their visa. The concern about drugs, we also know, is not well addressed by a wall, because we know that most of the drugs that come into our country come in through the ports of entry. So that's a stance that I think, you know, someone like Senator McCain and I have agreement on, and he's certainly not a progressive or a liberal.
Okay, we're going to talk about immigration a little bit later. When we come back, we'll hear more from the candidates about health care, taxes and spending, and building the wall. Stay with us.